everyone, Chef Yoda the dog here, and it's time for the Monday meal. Today's Monday meal is an easy white chili, and we got it from allrecipes.com. My mom has some allergies to certain beans, so we made this one with black-eyed peas. So you could also use it for New Year's or, other stuff. Whatever. Anyway, this one's tasty and could also be used for Taco Tuesday, too. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to our channel. We would really appreciate it. Happy New Year. Chef Yoda the dog out.
Hi everyone, happy Monday. As Yoda said, we are making an easy white chili. We're doing this in the Instapot instead of on the stove. So we've got it on the saute feature, and then I'm gonna switch it to slow cooker and just let it, keep it on warm or whatever all day or low so that, anybody can eat it whenever they want. So we have got this recipe, let me just say, is from allrecipes.com, and there were a lot of comments in the review section about how to make this taste better. So I'm going to put the link to the original recipe below, but it's going to have the review section, and I'm going to make it based on what the reviews said, so you can see both. But the original recipe called for 2 chopped onions, and then you cook it with 4 cloves of garlic and some olive oil before you add everything else in. That's what we've done, but we're using 1 onion, so I used frozen chopped onions. So 1 cup of those equals 1 onion, and then 2 teaspoons of minced garlic equals 4 cloves. So that's what's in here right now, and that's ready to go. So now we need to add in the other stuff. So we're gonna add in, you need 4 chicken breasts that you have cooked and chopped. So I'm gonna use this already cooked chicken breast that's seasoned from Walmart. That's already cooked and chopped and shredded. So work smart, not hard, my friends. Work smart, not hard. I'm trying to get the rest of the chicken out with one hand here. Okay. Now, and sometimes it's like in big chunks, so I try to break it up. Don't worry, I wash my hands. You can tell it's cooked chicken breast. All right. We're gonna bring this to a boil, so that's why I just kept it on saute. Okay, so now we need chicken broth. And what we're gonna use for this, also 2 4-ounce cans of chopped green chilies. So I'm using 1 7-ounce, close enough. I never get to use the 7-ounce ones. Most recipes don't call for that. They call for the little ones, so I need to get rid of this one. Get them all out. Chilies. There's a few still in there, hanging on for dear life. All right, so they've got the chilies in there. And then you do some seasoning. So we're gonna do 2 teaspoons each of dried oregano, 2 teaspoons of cumin, ground cumin, but the recipe calls for 1.5 teaspoons of cayenne. We're only going to use half a teaspoon because the reviewer said cut it. It's too spicy. And then they said only use 2 14.5-ounce cans of chicken broth. So instead of what the recipe calls for, which is 3. So we're only going to use 28 ounces. So that is 3.5 cups of chicken broth. And then they also said to add 1 tablespoon of apple cider vinegar for acidity. So we're gonna add that. And then you're gonna also add 5 cans of great white northern beans with the liquid still in it. Now, I can't have those. That's actually kind of one of the beans I'm allergic to. So we're gonna use black-eyed peas instead because they're whitish, so close enough. I don't have 5, but I have close. I have 1 of frozen, which as this boils, those will cook. And then I had 3 more regular, so I got 4 out of the 5. And the reviewer said to puree 2 of the cans, and that makes the soup thicker, but that's up to you. So we're gonna put these things in there, stir it up, bring it to a boil. Okay, so we've brought to a boil, Then we're gonna, and I added the frozen beans, black-eyed peas, because they have to cook for 15 minutes longer than these other ones. So at a simmer. So you bring it to a boil. I added in the chilies, the 3.5 cups of broth. I added in the chicken, the seasonings. So we went with 2 teaspoons of ground cumin, 2 teaspoons of ground oregano, half of a teaspoon of cayenne, so it's not too spicy, and then 3.5 cups of broth, and then the bag of the frozen black-eyed peas. Then, as per the reviewers, I have mashed 2 of the cans of the black-eyed peas, which is what we're using as our white beans, again, because I'm allergic to them. So, but I'm not allergic to black-eyed peas. So we're gonna dump these in there and the other can of beans, and it's gonna simmer for 20 to 30 minutes until all the beans are tender, okay? So that's what we're gonna do. We're just gonna stir it up. Oh, and I added a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar as well, just like the reviewer suggested. So that is also in there. So we're gonna dump all this in. We're gonna stir it together. I changed the saute down to low. So I just hit saute, or I turned it off. I hit saute, I hit adjust to put it down to low so it's on a simmer, not a boil. And then it's got the timer set for 30 minutes. So that is what we're gonna do. And I'll show it to you on the flip side. Okay, so the last thing the reviewer said is instead of adding the cheese once you turn the stove off, you add it now while we still have about 10 minutes left for this to cook and let it melt in there. That actually tastes the best. So it's a cup of shredded cheese. We're using our BioLife Mexican style shreds, dairy free, of course, because I'm allergic. So we just added that and it's already starting to melt. We've got about 10 minutes left and then I'll show you the finished product. All right, it's done. It has been the 30 minutes and this is the finished product. All the cheese is melted in there and it is delicious. So definitely give it a try. I did what the reviewer said, but you could do it as the original recipe says. They just said it's really brothy and really oniony if you do it that way and really too spicy for a lot of people. So totally up to you. But this is the finished product and it looks delicious. I like mashing 2 of the cans of the beans too. That definitely makes it thicker like a chili. So, all right, enjoy. Happy Monday. And of course you could use this for Taco Tuesday as well.